Hi, good afternoon, Spurs fans. We are here in Gurgaon with Tottenham and India's very own Tanvie Hans.
Hi, thank you for having me.
So we're basically going to spend some time talking to her about her journey and life at Spurs. Was it hard starting off as a female footballer in India?
Yeah, it was really hard. I think you can. I'm probably one of the older players at Spurs, um, and you can see that the girls are a lot younger out there. And I actually did not have a lot of options growing up. It was definitely hard. I used to have to find. I used to play at the park behind my house literally because I enjoyed it, and I had to find a coach at school during the holidays. And on the other hand, over there in England, it's a lot more accessible. You have things just available to you, coaches and leagues and tournaments and stuff. Whereas I was literally going out looking for coaches to coach me and grounds to play at, and the surfaces out here aren't good. So it definitely wasn't easy, but it definitely made me like have better stamina and fitter and stuff like that. But I
Mhm.
mean, yeah, I mean, it wasn't easy. It wasn't.
So basically, the lack of infrastructure and uneasy accessibility to those facilities is what sort of holds back football in India at the moment.
Yeah, and the lack of tournaments. We don't have a league in India for women, which is why I went abroad. If there was a well-established league in India, why would I leave? I wouldn't leave. I would enjoy and play with the girls I've been playing with all my life. So I mean, yeah, I think we need tournaments. We need a system, basically, infrastructure and everything around that.
So what's it like being at a professional football setup like Spurs?
Um, it's definitely not something I'm used to. Um, it's very professional. You can see that everything's been thought of before. The coaches come prepared. They know what team we're going to be playing that Sunday. Everything is structured. We train according to the game that's going to come up that Sunday. So everything is organized. All we have to do is just turn up and perform. Whereas out here, you kind of have to do everything, find a coach, find a ground, and perform. So I think I like the fact professional out there. It just makes our job a lot easier and just as a player perform.
So, in your time in India, do you recall any players who have the potential to make it in the big leagues abroad, or are we not anywhere near those levels yet?
You talking about girls or boys? I can speak for
Yeah,
girls.
girls.
Yeah, I think girls can definitely make it. I know a lot of girls in Delhi itself who I trained with during before I went there. I did a lot of individual training, but I also trained with a lot of girls. And there are quite a few that I feel if they stay consistent with their training,
Mhm.
definitely can make it. There's no lack of talent. The fact that I made it there proves that despite infrastructure, despite everything, we have it. We have it in us.
So, I'm assuming life as a professional footballer is different from just living in London normally. So, what would an average week would be like for you? Could you guide us through Monday through Sunday?
Okay, so I see because it doesn't really pay us a lot. So I do have to have a job during the day. Our football happens in the evenings. They've done it so that we can work or study during the day and then play in the evenings. So during the day I'm working, which I mean I'd wake up at like 8, 9, get to office. So that would be like a 10 to 5, 10 to 4. I try and leave by 5, and then there's training. So on Mondays, work is consistent from Monday to Friday, those hours, but Mondays I'm doing weights on my own.
All right.
And then Tuesday it's Spurs, Wednesday rest, Thursday again it's Spurs, Friday again I'm doing my own weights and any sort of cardio, anything I can do, and then Sunday we have a game. And that's a full day because it's usually pretty far. So yeah.
So, what are your goals and aspirations going forward as a professional footballer?
See, the main reason why I went abroad to play, I could have played here. I mean, I was getting everything. I had a coach and everything. But the reason I went there is because I wanted to keep improving.
Right.
And that comes with obviously a good structure, with good coaching, with good facilities. So my aspiration is to see myself at the peak, at like what I'm capable of, the absolute best. And that's basically, I want to see myself, and after I finish my career and say, I think I could not have played better than that. I mean, I really hit my peak that time. So yeah.
Right. What do you think? Do you think there's any way you can contribute to the growth of football in India, especially for women? Or is there anything you'd like to see done for that to happen?
Like I said, I think it's really important to have a league, because the moment you have a league, we do have interstate tournaments and nationals and all of that. But again, those last for a period of a month. Even the Indian national team doesn't train for more than 2 months. So if you take it in totality, they're really just training for 4 months in a year. Whereas over there, I'm training for like 10 months. And I get a month and a half off. That's it. And that also I have to keep up my fitness and everything. So I think it's all about consistency, and that comes from providing them a platform to, to play tournaments and stuff. So I think if you just set up tournaments non-stop at a high level, I mean, I think that's where you begin.
All right. So, and we also need to focus, say, on like grassroots introduction and of the sport and teaching them from a young age, because the school system doesn't really value sports as much here, or at least other than cricket. So now we just have a few simple questions about your time at Spurs in London. Right. So, who's your first match against?
Actually, our first match was a preseason game. They try and organize games for us during preseason also. It was against a new team. They just got some girls together to play, and we absolutely kicked their ass. But I remember that it really helped confidence with the team. During the season, I think our first game was against Charlton Athletic reserves. Yeah, it was one of the better teams in the league, so it was definitely something that I enjoyed.
All right. Next, growing up, you must have had at least one footballer you looked up to, or someone you aspired to be like.
Okay, so my story is not very typical. I actually started playing. I was always very sporty. I used to play with the boys. I'm sure Akshay can agree with that. But I just started playing because I enjoyed the sport. I never really watched it much. It was only recently that I actually started watching it and started observing the way players move and stuff, because that's so important. So I would say, like, I didn't have too many players I looked up to. The people I looked up to were the boys and stuff that I watched playing around me. And as of now, I follow the US women national team because they're one of the best in the world. And I look up to their veteran players like Abby Wambach and Megan Rapinoe, who plays my position, left wing. So yeah, I mean, I try and follow the women's. I wish our Indian national team was was celebrities, because I would definitely follow them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, it's hard to be a sports celebrity in anything other than cricket.
True.
So,
In
but
India.
in all in good time.
Yeah.
So next, what other sports do you play apart from football?
I play. If you provide me any equipment for any sport, I'll play it.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. I probably would be relatively okay at it. Because I've played everything. I think our school had so many sports, and I played every sport.
That's Vasant Valley?
Vasant Valley. I played every sport that our school had to offer. I remember I used to do athletics, and then after that I went for football training, and then I used to play cricket with the boys. I used to anything. I think except for tennis. I'm pretty okay at everything.
All right. So, like most players, you probably have some pre-match superstitions or rituals you like to conduct, just for luck or, for something.
Well, I like praying. I always pray when I'm on the field, off the field, whatever. But this is something I learned from the Indian team actually. Before we enter the field, I just touch the ground and kind of just thank the fact that you're there.
So with the World Cup coming up, are you rooting for someone in particular?
I'm not going to get into the technicals of it, but I'm probably going to be supporting Brazil.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, that's all right. Home turf and all. So living in London must be difficult, if not tough. What's the one thing you enjoy most about being there?
The freedom. I enjoy the freedom because obviously I have family and stuff out here, and if I'm staying here, I'll obviously stay with them. I like the fact that I'm working during the day. I definitely feel very independent. I'm doing what I love. I'm playing football. So I think the whole atmosphere is basically suited to my taste very well. So I'm very happy. Even the job I had during the days, I've got very nice people to work with. So.
And what do you miss most about being in Delhi or back home?
Um, well, obviously my family, my friends. I have a lot more friends out here because I grew up here. Whereas I have to start from scratch with making friends and everything out there. And I'm a very shy person generally.
You're in front of a lot of people here.
I'm purposely not looking at the camera. Um, but yeah, I mean, I miss a lot of things. Like I miss driving. I have my own car here. Um, I have to walk out there or take the public transport and stuff. And I miss the food. And
Anything in particular?
butter chicken. I miss butter chicken. And lassi.
Okay.
Yeah.
So next is one popular question from Twitter. Feel free not to answer this. Are you single?
I am actually.
There you have it, guys. Watch every single game now. Alright. What are your teammates like? Is it a good mix of people from all over, or particularly English folk?
We do. I mean, majority of them are English, but we do have a lot. Like recently, we had a Spanish girl come in. The first team coach is Spanish.
Okay.
But it's mostly English, but like different parts of England. So our reserve team coach, Pete, he is from the north. He has a very strong north accent. We do have a couple of half Indians, but they're not born and brought up in India. They're like there's half Italian, half Indian, but they're all UK born. So we do have quite a mix actually. So we have Spanish, we have half Indian, half Italian, all English from different parts. It is quite a mix.
All right.
Interesting.
Right. So now we're going to turn to some questions sent from fans all over Asia through Twitter and Facebook. And if any of you would like to participate right now, you could tweet at us with hashtag AskTanvie, and Akshay will get across the questions to us. All right, first we have Ananya Sen. It's no small feat, a girl from Delhi now playing for Spurs. What advice would you give to other aspiring Indian girls and boys looking to make a break?
I would just say stay committed, do your research, and make a plan for yourself, a realistic plan, and stick with it and work hard. Just know that today, if you're sweating, tomorrow it's gonna pay, and just believe in that. There's actually a quote that I have up on my wall in London to kind of inspire me. It says, "At the moment of commitment, the universe conspires to assist you." So you just have to stay committed and just believe that things will work out for you. Not that you just stay at home and be like, okay, I've worked hard today, so something's going to happen. But, I mean, get out there and work hard and look for opportunities. And definitely the right one is going to come for you.
All right. Next, from Amal Mukundan. In our senior men's team, whose playing style do you think resemble yours the most?
Indian men's team.
Oh, whichever one you'd like to talk about.
Spurs team. I would like to think that I have my own style of play, but I think from the Indian men's team, I like Chetri. He's. I hope everyone knows who's.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure everyone knows who Sunil Chetri is.
Yeah. So I think my style is pretty similar to his because he's quite an attacker, and so am I. And he moves around the field a lot. He's not. I mean, he has played the wings and stuff as well, which I do as well. So I think we're similar in that way.
And you get moved around a lot playing for Spurs as well?
Yeah, I actually, when I arrived and I gave my tryouts and everything, I told them I'm a wing player. I'm specifically good on the right, but they moved me around. They were like, no, let's try you out here and there. So I've actually played number 9, I've played number 10, I've played left wing, right wing. It's been quite interesting. I've enjoyed it all, but I think every team is different. So they're still trying to, I think now they've confirmed that I'm pretty good on the left wing.
All right.
Yeah, I've been moved around.
So she's pretty much bail for the women's team, right? She's going to come into her own soon, and then it's just good things from there on in. All right, next, going forward, do you believe in power and pace like Bale or technique and skill like Neymar?
I feel that I like Bale's style a lot. But I would not say that he is not technical or he's not skillful. He is.
Okay.
He's got a mix of both. I think the mix is obviously the best. I
Okay.
wouldn't say one or the other. It's just a mix. But I mean, I enjoy the pace of it. I think the rush that you get when you're doing a counter attack.
Yeah.
Not only for the players but for the audience as well. That's what that's a lot more enjoyable. So I would say pace and strength and yeah.
Next, we have Siddhant Chandra. According to you, which is the best goal scored in football?
It was a Messi goal. I think one of his first few matches that he played, I don't remember which tournament or which team he played against, but I'm sure everyone would remember this goal. It was one of his first few goals. He had long, like floppy hair.
It's like last decade.
Yeah, and he was really young. He was really new to the team, and he ran from half line to the goal, defeating like 5 players and he made it look so easy. I think that's one of my favorite. I usually watch it on loop. I'm like, how did he do that? He makes it look so easy. So I think that would be one of my favorites.
All right. Next is from Suraj Sharma. Who were your football idols growing up, if you had any?
Like I said, I never actually watched too much. I only recently started watching. I follow the US women's national team.
But if you had to pick one player who you place at the top,
I would. That's really hard because I like all of them.
as long as it's not anyone from Arsenal, we're all good.
Okay. Well, would you guys kill me if I said Ronaldo?
I-
Just for his work ethic.
I think Ronaldo's
For his work ethic.
fairly acceptable answer. King would be best, but to each his own. Have you played in a North London derby, and what was it like?
I have actually played. It feels the same as other games, except for the fact that it means a lot more to you and the opposing team. So you're kind of fighting harder. It's always a harder, faster-paced game. You do tend to have slightly large audience. We don't have like large audiences, unfortunately, especially at the reserve level.
Alright.
But you can see that there's a very strong fan.
Like an emotional
Yeah.
force to the game.
Yeah, and the moment like a goal is scored, oh my God, your ears like people go crazy.
It's like a pop and
shouting.
Wah!
It's like So I think the environment is a lot more tense and I enjoy that though.
Alright, so next we have some questions from Twitter. Thank you for contributing, guys. 3 words to describe what it feels like playing for Spurs.
Pride, definitely. I feel very professional, which is very important for all players. And a sense of quality. I think there's a very high sense of quality when you're playing at that level.
Alright. Next we have Suraj again on Twitter. What were the biggest obstacles you faced to get to where you are? What advice would you give others?
I face a lot of obstacles actually. In fact, I would not call them obstacles. I would call them guides. They've actually been they've aided me to where I am today because the fact that I have a British passport, so I've actually been called for India camp, but I couldn't play for India because I have a British passport. So it was because I was in that state and I really wanted to play and I couldn't play at the best level in India that I had to move to England to play. So I mean, I would not call them obstacles, and I wouldn't suggest that anyone call anything obstacles. It's always something that directs you towards something bigger and better.
Alright.
But my biggest would be that I can't play for India. I hope someday I can.
Well, it's our loss, unfortunately, but things can change. Next is Deepak on Twitter. How would you encourage more girls in India to take up sports?
How? I think you kind of naturally have an inclination towards sports. If you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't. If you're good at it, you're good at it. If you're not, then
Let's change it to words of encouragement for those who want to follow in your footsteps.
I would say the same thing. Just stay committed. Have a bigger aim, and aim higher because I mean, the fact that I had to travel abroad to play I mean, I mean, I've had supportive parents and everything, but
Yeah.
I haven't exactly had the best infrastructure and stuff. So I mean, just dream big and go for it, and there's nothing that can stop you.
She sounds like a Spurs player through and through. Right. What's been your magic moment since you signed up for Spurs?
Magic moments. I think I had one of the best feelings was when during training I was pulled out to play to train with the first team a couple of times during the season, and that to me was very encouraging because I was fresh to the team. They
Yeah.
usually don't get like new players to move up so fast.
All right.
So that was very encouraging to me, and I knew that they were trying to warm me up for the first team in the future. So I think that for me was like a golden moment. I was like, okay, this means that I have potential. I'm going to move up soon. So yeah, that was like a golden moment.
All right. So I think we've already talked a little about this. What are the biggest challenges you see hindering development of Indian football, and how can the next generation overcome these?
So can you repeat that?
What are the biggest challenges you see hindering development of football in India, and what can the next generation of players or hopeful players do to overcome these?
Like I said, I think we need a league. We need the men actually do have a league out here in India. But again, it's very there's a lot of craze for Indian men's football as well, but it's so regional. It's very regional. And if there is craze for football at all, it's international football. It's not so much about Indian football. So I think now that I think celebrities and stuff are getting involved, the moment you get big names into it, people are going to start getting, like, it's going to get attention. So I think the media needs to really pay attention to the fact that we have talent in that area as well. And for women, I would say start a league because you'll be surprised at the quality that we have. And I mean, our women are placed 49th in the world right now, which is far better than the men, no offense to them. We have a much greater chance of actually reaching and playing World Cup level. So, I mean, you just provide them what they need to reach that level, and you'll be surprised how soon it's going to happen.
Next is from Karthik Vishwanath. How did you manage football and education hand in hand?
I didn't manage it. It wasn't so much about managing. I used to always prioritize football over studies anyways, and I somehow used to. I was always a very last minute study person, and I managed somehow. I did decently. So I think if you kind of put your all your energy into where your heart is, then everything else just kind of falls into place. So the moment I finished a good game of football, I came back. I was like, okay, fine, let's study now because I've had my heart's content of playing. So it wasn't so much managing. It just kind of fell into place, everything.
That pretty much sums up why I'm not a footballer. After a game, I go have some beers and pass out. All right. How is your coaching and training in England different from India? What aspects would you like to bring back here to, improve the way things are done?
I would say we have a game even during preseason. They try and organize a game for us every Sunday. So, over here, what tends to happen is we're training as individuals, we're training as a team, but there's no actual game to play, and even if you play games, it's like 5-a-side, 6-a-side. At the end of the day, what are you playing? You're playing an 11-side game. You want to have an actual game, provided to you of a good quality. You don't just want boys to play against girls and it's mixed. You want actual something to look forward to every Sunday, something that you're training towards every Sunday. So I think that is very important, and the coaching that we have throughout the week is aimed towards that game on Sunday. Who our opponent is, what kind of structure they want us to follow during the game, and stuff like that. So, I think I would like to bring those changes in.
So something a little more focused on, say, a certain goal rather than let's just go play football week in, week out.
Exactly.
And something you can learn from and improve each week.
Exactly. So there's no point learning how to do tricks and stuff if you're not actually getting
the basics.
If you're not actually getting match experience. If you can't actually put it down and perform that in a match, in an 11-a-side game, those tricks and stuff, all that time you spend doing is not as valuable. So I think it's very important to have to know what you're working towards,
All right.
and then have the coaching in that direction.
All right. Next question. If there was a movie made about you, who would you want to star in it?
Um, if I'm not too old, I would like to star in it with wow, Bollywood, Hollywood.
Both. We'll take it one by one. Let's start with Bollywood.
I don't. I really don't know, because I mean I don't think any of them are really sporty, are they?
Athletic enough.
I mean, they're good actors and everything. But I mean, I could probably, like, for guys, because they're all very well built.
Yeah.
I don't really see any girl who has like biceps and stuff. Whereas like I kind of am like decent build, so I don't know.
All right. Let's try Hollywood.
Hollywood. I think Karen Knightley did a decent job in Bennett like Beckham.
Okay.
She would.
But she might be too old by then.
Yeah, that's true. Wow, you put me on the spot. I really don't know. I really, really don't know. Oh, I think Ellen Page.
Oh, yeah.
Apparently, people say that I kind of resemble her, and we have the same petite structure, whatever. And
Okay.
she used to be sporty. I think she needs to gain some muscle, but yeah, I like Ellen Page.
All right. All right. Last question here. Was it difficult adjusting to the playing style and physical level of football in England?
It was actually. I actually had the first feeler for the level of football when I did my masters there, not
Okay.
before Tottenham. I did my masters there in 2011 to 12. And that's when I actually did not get selected for the first team for the first 2 weeks.
All right.
And that bummed me out. I was like, I mean, I've been doing so well in Delhi, in India. Like,
Yeah.
why am I not being
It was
selected?
more of a wake-up call.
Yeah, and I was like, what's lacking? And then I realized it's a lot of the physical. That's
Yeah.
when I started doing press ups and I started like hitting the gym and everything. Because, you know, generically they're actually bigger built than us.
Mhm.
I'm petite. I have pace and everything, but when you're shoulder to shoulder with someone, you want to be able to win that ball.
Yeah, I think Lennon would agree.
Exactly. So I think that's when I realized it is a lot more physical.
Mhm.
It is also a lot more technical. I think in the US, it takes a lot more athleticism. Like the females, at least, are a
Yeah.
lot more athletic. It's a very athletic oriented game with them. But
Mhm.
in UK, it's a lot more technical.
All right.
So you need to be very skillful and be able to keep the ball with yourself for a while and then pass it, and spot your passes and stuff like that. So yeah, I think I learned a lot in that 1 year that I was in Exeter. It was definitely a wake up call, and that actually drove me to come back and work hard and then go back to London and try
Yeah.
out for a club. But I did have to work for a very large period on building of myself physically,
Alright.
and being more athletic and being more technical.
Mhm.
So it did take a lot of me growing as a player before I could
Alright.
actually enter that the tryout, even think of trying out for a club.
So there you have it, guys. Tanvie Hans, Tottenham and India's very own, and hopefully someday a future superstar.